y'all, so just a heads up, I do curse in this video, and I talk about some not so easy things, so if you don't want to watch, that's okay. I'm starting to put these at the beginning because I just speak my mind and just keep it for real. You know, I'm the friend in the group who's not going to talk about you behind your back. I'll come to you directly, and I just say what's on my mind, and I say what I feel. And there's been people who don't like that, and I don't care. But when I do curse, I will put a little disclaimer. Hey, I'm cursing in this. I know everybody don't like cursing, so if you don't want to watch, don't watch. I appreciate you for watching up to this point. Thank you. Hi, this is Scarlett. She makes a couple appearances in my videos. Hi, my name's Alicia with the noise. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome! Alrighty, so we're just going to go with it. I think I'm going to split this up amongst 2 different videos. So we're going to start with 5 diabolical lessons that I learned. Hey Cicada, how you doing? So number 1, I have a couple of notes, but I'm gonna mostly just speak on the top of my mind, see what we can come up with. The help that I look for don't exist, so I stopped looking. So at many different periods of my life when people pass away, I noticed people disappeared, said, you know, why are you expecting us to help you? We don't care. You're not invited to this event. You're not welcome at this event. This bar is ours, not yours. I think at different periods of my life, people made it worse. And with me being the only child, I had no problem figuring it out for myself. And I'm one of those type of people, I like to see things for what it is, not for what I wish for it to be. And people were clearly showing me who they were and are. And so I literally and figuratively started to see that people wasn't showing up. People wasn't literally and figuratively showing up for me at all. So instead of playing victim and saying woe is me and talking about how bad people were treating me, I just literally just learned how to sit alone in my thoughts, be in nature like this, and figure it out myself. And that's been my go-to, just sitting in nature. And I started showing up for myself. My little notes keep going away. And I just literally just stopped looking for what's not there. And that's it. Number 2, just because your friends and family members get that support doesn't mean the same thing's going to happen for you. I know that a lot of my friends and family members are getting married, having kids, all that stuff. And while people show up for them, and I want to be the auntie and show up for them, I just don't think that people will show up for me in those ways. And see, I'm a giver. I'm the type of person that likes to give without expectation. And if it were me, what would this person want and how can I surprise this person? But throughout the years, I've given people so many chances, and they just kept letting me down. And I don't want you to do it like me. I just want you to get it done, you know? And since it's so hard for people to show up, why don't they stop depending on them? And so I had to learn the hard way that I had to be the change I want to see in the world for me. I would look in the mirror and say, hey, Leisha, we're the only one we got. So let's just figure this out on our own. I had to really start limiting who I show my giving side to for that reason, because I'm going to talk about this in a later point. People mistaked my kindness for weakness and took me for granted and started taking advantage. So I limit who I show this giving side to. And I'm also not the jealous type. While I will be giving to a very small few, I also don't get jealous of those who get support and get people showing up for them. Like, if you don't have to go through some of the things I've been through, I think that's amazing. And I hope I could just be the person that can show up for them as well. Just be the support and love that I never received. That's kind of like been my auntie mantra. So going on to number 3. Being a nice person a lot of times means getting used, taken advantage of, or thrown away. Car noise and cicada. Like I said in the last point, people mistake my kindness for weakness too much, so I just naturally started cutting back. Because if people don't appreciate it, why keep doing it? And you can't keep doing stuff for people if they don't appreciate it, right? So if you keep doing it and they don't appreciate it, or they don't say thank you or anything, it's like, why keep doing it? And I'm not a huge thank you, like, I don't have to have a written thank you note, and you don't have to post about it all over social media, but hey, like, every once in a while, I just want to know that you used it, or hey, I found this useful, because if you don't like it, I can just simply get you something else. But if I don't know if you like it or not, how can I know what you like or what you don't like? So sometimes I feel like people have taken me for granted, and that's when I start to pull back, because there's these 2 quotes that I forgot to include in other videos. You know, lying to yourself might bring you comfort in the moment, but the truth will set you free. And at some point you have to be for real with yourself about the gap between the life you want to live and the life that your daily habits are leading you towards. If people keep taking you for granted, throwing you away like a piece of shit, not appreciating you and what you bring to the table, just get out of their lives. Like, they don't want you in their life, just leave. And so that's what I had to start doing. I started to cut a lot of people out of my life. And so going on to the next point, if you disappear, people will let you. Oh boy, so I had a bunch of hard periods in my life, and one of them was when several of my friends passed away, especially from suicide, and I disappeared on a group of friends just to see what they would do. I poured my heart and spirit into them, and none of them showed up for me. And it got the wheels in my head spinning, like, did these people ever care for me? Because I'm not the type of person, I don't want to burden you or take up your whole weekend, or hey, you got to spend every waking moment or holiday with me. When something hard like that happens, like, I just want a little bit of your time, just for you to sit in silence with me. I don't want the answers. I don't want you to have the answers. I'm not asking you to solve my problems. I just wanted to know, or want to know that you care for me. And I just really felt like I wasn't cared for. And so I also have been missing out on events on purpose just to see if people will miss me. And simply, I just don't feel good, and I just kind of want to try other things. But I've learned that if you disappear enough, people will let you, and people will move on, and they just don't care. Unless they're just really good friends of yours, or people who are just really good people. They might reach out and say, hey, I didn't know you at this event. But I have noticed, like, most people just don't give a rat's ass and will move on and just forget that you were ever there. So number 5, I understand why the successful don't always reach back. I hear a lot of people say, you know, give back to your community, don't forget where you come from, that kind of stuff. I used to think more like that when I was younger, but after some recent successes I've had and people trying to cut me down so hard, trying to get there, I get why sometimes the successful, or the people who are really, really successful in what they do, they sort of disappear and they keep their circles small. They are very careful about who they include in their life. I get it, because the resentment that you get when you try to move to the next level is real. And I've had people try to destroy me, spread rumors on me, get people to see me a certain way, because I've had different goals, dreams, and I was just on a different page, and they didn't get it. I will be right back. Hey, I'm back to continue. So I'm starting to understand why a lot of successful people start to back off, and they sort of hang out with other people who are kind of like them. So you don't see a lot of famous actors and famous actresses hanging out with not so famous actors and actresses. You kind of hang out with people in your same wavelength, your same bubble, your same circle. I'm at the beginning of my YouTube journey, and I want to make that very clear. I don't get hundreds of millions of views like my friends do, and that's a goal I'm manifesting. I'm at the beginning of my influencer journey, and I consider myself to be a mini influencer. I have gotten more people reaching out about collaborating, DMing me about different things since getting to the million mark. Whereas when I was at my lower numbers, nobody reached out. And it kind of just makes you wonder if people really want to get to collaborate with you just for you, or they just want to jump on your bandwagon because of your numbers. And you should get to know somebody because of who they are, not what they got, like I said in previous videos. And I already don't trust easily, so it kind of makes me put my guard up. So I'm starting to see why a lot of successful people, they don't reach back out. I mean, they reach out when they want to reach out and help somebody, but it's far few in between. I'm starting to get it. So this kind of a bonus point. Oh, the noise. Woo, what was that? But anyways, okay, anyways, a bonus point that I want to bring up. I love my cousins, and this don't have nothing to do with my cousins. I'm just gonna say an immediate family member. I was having a medical crisis, and they yelled and talked about, how come you're asking me to help you, and you should get somebody else to drive you. And they were just really mean and very like diabolical, and said, you shouldn't be asking me to help you, take you to the hospital. And I'm like, wait, what? It kind of made me question, like, could I really even trust anybody in my family if I really need it? And if I had a family member or a friend go through something medical, I would never scream, never yell, this is inconvenient, this is stupid. When my friends had suicide attempts, I didn't say, oh, stop being suicidal for my convenience. I stayed with them and stuck by their side. And love is showing up even when it's not convenient for you. That ultimately made me change how I saw that person. But it always makes me wonder, like, who would have my back in my immediate family if I really need it. And so it kind of makes me not trust people, or a lot of people in my family, to be honest. And I love them, but when I needed people to come through for me too many times in my life, they didn't. And I basically went with what was shown to me. And the diabolical lesson I learned here, like, honestly, I probably would have been better just using Uber or Lyft, and that's sad. I've had cousins ask me, hey, do you want to ride? Nah, like, that's alright, I don't want to inconvenience you. And that's why I don't, because I feel like I've had people in my life say, oh, we're here to help you. But then when you reach out, you know, they don't return phone calls, they don't reach out back. Hey, baby. Hi, you want to say hi? Hi. 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 Hey, you. Say hi. So anyways, I can depend on my cats to treat me nicer than some people in my family and friends. Like, I'm serious. Like, that's why I have several feral cat sanctuaries. I try to take care of as many cats as I can, because I think animals are pure and they're nicer. They don't spread rumors, lies, and gossip on you. So that's why I always try to take care of my animals. So you're going to be seeing cats in several of these videos. Like, start with. I know. So anyways, getting back to my point, I really feel like when I needed people to be there, they wasn't. And like I said, when my friends were going through those hard times and they needed somebody to be there for them, I wasn't going to tell them, you know, stop being this way. I was there to listen. I didn't have the answers. I'm not a mental health professional at all. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, excuse my French. But I felt like as a friend, when I saw my friends have suicide attempts, the best thing I could have done was just be there. Ooh, man, the voice. I hope they're okay. In the airplane. So I guess my experiences just teaches me how not to treat other people, because I'm not perfect. But I just wish that when I needed the help, it was there, and it wasn't. And so I just try to do the right thing and be the best person I could be. And if I find myself in a situation like that again, I'm just going to be there for my people, but then get them the help that they need as soon as they can, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just thrown in that situation. I said, hey, listen, I love you and I want you to stay. And I want to get you the help that you need. So anyways, one more point, and I'm just going to make this kind of like the finishing point. I'm going to make a child-free series on why I'm staying child-free. Okay, so let's just pretend that we're longtime friends. In recent months, I've been having like an uptick of some of my guy friends getting a little squirrely, talking about, we want you to be the mother of my kids, and are you wanting to have kids in your future, and you would be such a good mom to my kids, and why don't you want to have kids? As the bona fide auntie in the group, no, I'm not having kids. And one of the things I'm gonna bring up, and one of the points I'm gonna bring up, is I've had multiple medical issues and nobody showed up. I've had multiple friends pass away from suicide, nobody showed up. I've had multiple friends attempt suicide, no one showed up. So I have to ask the honest question: if I needed support as a parent or a mother, or I needed self-care, or I needed time to myself, if people didn't show up in those other hard periods in my life, why the hell do I think that's going to change if I became a parent? People are showing me how they are right now. And like Dr. Phil said, I've been saying this in several videos, past behavior predicts future behavior. I look at what's in front of me and I see things for how they are, not for what I wish for them to be. And so I'm going to talk about this in a later video. I don't want kids because I just don't think the support that I could use will never be there. The support that I could use now and at different periods of my life doesn't exist. And so I've had to really rally for myself. And I'll reach out to my mom and stuff like that, but it starts to get a little dicey on who I can really trust and rely and depend on when I need. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now. Thank you for watching and see you later. Bye.